Hi, Sean.
I talked to you yesterday.
Good. You are fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
A great host. Show is great. Listen to his show.
Absolutely, 95.5.
One mic. All I need is one mic. That's all I need.
Hey, Shelley Winter Show, ladies and gentlemen, back on the air for one day. Then we're off tomorrow and Thursday and back on Friday. We apologize for that, but it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. And, let me, I want to have some fun with what I just started with, but I want to take time. A good friend of the Republican Party of the state of Georgia, Republican Party nationally. She's well known, and she's a very, very dear friend of mine. And I want to just take a couple minutes while the polls are closing. We will get to some of the results of what's going on around the country, particularly here in Georgia, of the election night. And I've got a lot to talk about. I've got a lot to squeeze in 2 hours. But I want to start here. I have to start here. A good friend of mine, her name is Pam Reardon. She passed away this weekend. Rest in peace, my dear, dear sister. A lot of Republicans knew her from the governor on down. She was an activist in Cobb County, very hard worker. If really honest to God in this party, if we had just 15 Pam Reardons, we wouldn't lose an election. Honest to God. I have to do this tribute because of what she meant to me in my career. When I was on the other station in the mornings, many of you who followed me over here know that I was on there as like a tryout for 2 or 3 months. And a couple months, about 3 months later, they finally came to me and says, okay, you're the guy, and yada, yada, yada. And right after that, the day I went on the air and made that announcement to my audience that, I am official, Pam got my number from someone and called me up and invited me to speak at the Cobb County Republican Party. I'd never been, never heard of it, didn't know it existed in any way, shape, or form. And it was at their breakfast meeting that she invited me to speak. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, I'll go there. It's probably 15, 20 people, and I'll go speak at this breakfast. And I got there late, not late, but, breakfast started at 8:30. I probably got there like 8:45 because I wasn't supposed to speak till later on. They had a couple speakers. And when I pulled up, there was not a space in the parking lot. I had to park down Roswell Road, way down Roswell Road, and walk up. And I was like, man, all these people can't be for this event. I must be something else going on. And then I saw like a kind of a church, one of these storefront churches. Like, oh, they must be having church today. I got to the GOP offices there on Roswell Road, and literally there are a couple hundred people in there. People along the walls, people sitting down, people all the way out into the office space, people standing at the door, holding the door open. There was so many people in there, and I was so nervous. But that's how I got introduced to the Cobb County GOP, and I've been with them ever since. And that was because of Pam Reardon. Then my first Trump rally I went to, I took a bunch of listeners. We rented a multi-person, 16-person van, went on air. Whoever wants to go, give me a call. 16 of us, 17 of us, I think, went down to one of the first Trump rallies here in Georgia. That was Pam's idea. And we all drove down there. And when we got down there, people at the door, when we were coming through the metal detectors, saw me and said, oh, Shelley, you're VIP, come backstage. And I said, well, I'm with them. I'm going to stay with them. And it was Pam Reardon who says, no, you go backstage. You're a talk radio host. You go backstage. We're okay out here. That was Pam Reardon. The next thing that she used to always text me when she didn't agree with me. I can't believe you said that. And we go back and forth on whatever it was I said that she disagreed with, but she was a warrior. She was a fighter. But one of the main things that I loved about Pam, the Cobb County GOP to this day buys a booth at the NAACP, Cobb County NAACP Juneteenth celebration in Marietta Square. That has been going on for years, even before Biden made it a national holiday. Cobb County NAACP celebrated Juneteenth every summer in the Marietta Square. Pam, I believe, as far as I know, Pam was the one who instituted buying a booth at the Cobb County NAACP Juneteenth celebration. She also invited me 2 or 3 years in a row to the Cobb County NAACP dinner. Pam believed in her heart of hearts reaching across the aisle, whether people would vote for you or not, reaching across the aisle was important. Letting people know you are human and you may have disagreed on things, but I'm human, you're human. There's some things we can work together. Maybe they're not things we can work together, but what we will do is be neighbors in Cobb County. And that was my sister. And I'll never forget you, Pam, and I appreciate you so very much. Because of you, I met so many dear friends in Cobb County GOP, from the president, from the chairwoman who came later, Sally Grubbs, who I was at the election and fighting hard and yelling and screaming when Sally got elected because I did not know her, and now she's my sister. And it's because of you, Pam. So I just wanted to start the show sharing my thoughts on a friend who passed this weekend, a friend to a lot of people. Like I said, from the governor on down, many people reached out to her the last couple days to, give her hope and pray for her. I sent a video as well. But I just wanted to let everybody know that Pam Reardon has passed away. If you don't know, she passed away this weekend, and she's now in heaven, hopefully trying to find my mom so they could talk badly about me up in heaven and say, oh, you knew my son, he's crazy, right? And Pam would say, yeah, he's crazy, but he's a good crazy. Rest in peace, Pam Reardon. Rest in peace. And for all of you who know Pam and Tom, please keep Tom in your prayers and the entire Reardon family, but especially fellas out there who knows Tom, please get his number and reach out to him as much as you can. Because when you lose the love of your life, it can get pretty lonely, and we can't allow that to happen to our friend. So make sure we continue to reach out to Tom, keep that family in your prayers, and I'll let you guys know about the funeral arrangements when it's official. But God bless you, Pam. Thank you for everything. Were it not for you, I can honestly say I would not have built the community that I've been able to build in this state and in this metropolitan area without you first reaching out to me and said, hey, I want you to speak at the Cobb County breakfast. God bless you, my sister, and rest in peace. So let's get to the show. Let's see any election results are out. Nothing's out just yet. I do want to talk about these elections. Spamberger's going to win in Virginia. It looks like. So here's one of the rules of thumb that I have. When the initial votes come out, they come out like 1% or something like that. And they come out so really heavy for one person. It usually is a harbinger of things to come. Most people don't catch up. Sometimes it happens, but for the most part, in my years of watching returns, most times when it comes out really huge for somebody, it's usually going to stay like that way. But we'll keep an eye on Virginia. Virginia polls closed at 7:00. Our polls here in Georgia closed at 7:00. So we'll keep you updated throughout the night on everything. Unfortunately, we won't have anything to do with New York's mayor's race because those polls close at 9:00 and we go off the air at 9. I fought hard to stay late just to talk about that race, but to no avail. But I tried. I did try. Actually, I didn't stay late to talk about that. I just wanted to get some extra time in because I know I'm not going to be here tomorrow or Thursday. You know what the best part about working at this company? I complain about the money. Right, you hear me complain a lot about the money, right? And I do. It's tongue in cheek, it's radio, but it's kind of true, but it's kind of radio, because everyone complains about their pay. No matter how much you make, you're going to complain about you have low pay. But one of the things I do love is that I came in yesterday. I drove all the way down here yesterday, right? I didn't know there was a game last night. So I got all the way down here. I met with my program director because we meet every Monday. So I went right into the thing, and we're talking for a good 5 or 6 minutes, and he turns to me and he says, wait a minute, I don't think you're on the air tonight. And we look at the schedule, and I wasn't on the air. But you know what's fascinating? I complain a lot, but I do want to say this. No one tells me, hey, man, you're not going to be on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We need some of that money we paid you back. No one says that. And when you really think about it, they could if they wanted to. But it's true that, these games pop up, the coaches shows, all those things, they do take time away from me being on the air. but no one has yet come. And I'm not giving anybody any ideas, but no one has yet come to me and says, hey, man, by the way, because of these games, you're not on the air 20 days of the year.
You might want to quit while you're ahead.
I will.
Because
I will.
haven't thought of this yet. So let's not give them an idea.
No, this is a corporation. They thought of it. I think they just came to the conclusion that they couldn't do it. But no, I thought about it yesterday when I was driving home. I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to not do my show. I'm mad to not be able to do my show tonight because I had prepared to do it with talking about last night. But then again, no one docked my pay or shorted me, when 2 weeks ago, I'll find out in 2 weeks, actually. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB, talking all seriousness. Ladies and gentlemen, please pray for my dear friend Pam Reardon and her family. She has passed away, and I cannot thank her enough. Because without her, I don't think I would have built this community that I built without her helping me from day one. God bless you, my sister. We'll be right back. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk.